Thousand Suns erected a warp beacon on Demerium. It is calling every warp fiend in the Immaterium to join the fight. The enemy seek to capture Project Aurora. We must not let them. Sever the Heretics portal and cut them off from reinforcement. Your success will decide whether this is a war of days or months. See it done.
Make haste, lest more of our honorable dead are despoiled. Searching rounds. Thousand Sun Portal. Your demeanor is aligned with the darkness. Glad to have you at my side. You honor me, but such a virtue fails when compared to your tenacity. Nonsense. Good spirits inspire us, and there are no final comfort.
Then let us spread our cheer to the alien, the mutant, and the heretic.
Deploying fragmentation! We have done well putting down this twisted horror. Fresh magazine. There! The heretics blasted an entrance to the compound. Calibrate your aim. Fresh cuts. Reload. Stop that target from rallying fresh warriors. We will not be faced with additional numbers. Send the spearmen back to its master. The spearman troubles us no more. Ready for next encounter. Good teamwork. Whatever foul entity you serve, it's abandoned. An ancient protocol bars us from the tomb chamber. Searching round. It is our duty to end these horrors. The ancient network has joined us.
smart, fusion core. The two servitors may have a replacement.
Nothing on this floor.
Do not stop searching.
Rearm.
Simple servitors. Lead us to the attack.
That's ready to deploy. For the Imperium of Man!
Keep hard and keep hard.
We have put down the foul dog, bastard.
Double check if you have to.
Your heresy is ended. See your weapon out.
Replacement fusion core identified.
Fresh cut. My mind is steel, grotesque corruption.
Round expended.
That is heretical behavior. shall I plant this flag?
Power restored.
Glory to the Omnissiah. Input request.
I want you to open this door, now.
Consecration seals in place. Breach of seals granted only in the event of reinterment. Authorization necessary. I, Captain Akaran, authorize the reinterment of the honored dead off-world. Authorization confirmed. Captain Akaran. Dispatching attendants to locate the remains.
Here to serve. Follow, Minister. Faithful bones lie in perpetual grace, the slumber promised to all. Browsing catafalque. Nominal burial. No remains to be transferred. Proceeding on.
Inserting round. Unleashing fragment.
Only in death does duty end. Scanning cast. Subject is not meet required parameters. Restarting search.
In the Lord of the Rings films. He was, but like, I understand the need for me filmmaking.
Fresh cut.
Covering all the covers that people see. It doesn't state it. It is eventually this.
We please the Emperor, eliminating this
Evaluating sarcophagus. Interred remains slumber in peaceful rest.
He stays behind to hold off the
Insufficient grace. Indexing list of potential replacement.
clear they fall off. Spirits eventually return to the
Radiac coordinates.
time that saw her
Remains overdue for reconsecration and reburial.
By the machine console, let it be done. This tomb's rest ends. Consecration seals unbound.
Return to the console and let us leave this tomb. Fresh magazine. Become a beast. Glory to the Imperium.
He does attend the Council of Elrond and the wedding of Aragorn and Arwen. Anyway, what the characters will remove is included.
Our objective awaits.
Waste nothing, brothers.
Paying respects. Respects paid. Exit catacombs now.
Between Cindy Claus and your dad, I think you're going. He going for us. I think it's so many different news sources. I think it's news sources that I remember. anti-Wiz,
Protanoids retreat.
anti-Wiz, Wiz ranges. I'm just being real news that's saying that Anthony Davis, unless we're getting multiple first-round picks and win-now players, he's big whisper. Just a young forward.
Eldrick on the field!
I
Weapons
don't
ready.
know. I
Wait
don't
for the
see
breach.
a world in which that
Demon
makes sense,
engine
like from a
believes it
basketball
has the
standpoint.
advantage.
You've got two people that would play that same
Bale's fire
position.
can penetrate several
You got
Plus point. Incoming.
ACL. He's never been the best guy to have on his team, like emerging players. So I don't know. Where do you see Taggart see the Warriors? Yeah, I was assuming Anthony Davis was the Warriors. I think they need to say just LeBron James tends to get his way. That would be a reason why he might go out there. I think it's more likely that LeBron goes to the Wizards than it is that AD goes to the Bulls. You want to play with AD so much, the decent LeBron will have it.
Shanghai repulsive heresy. Speak now.
Yeah, I do. I'm just saying that because LeBron James came to the
Eldrick, you're going to snare with vile fire!
value. It's not what I'm saying. It's entire life. It's a field culture.
Ready to deploy.
You should do it. Listen, if Jay came to the Wizards, everybody makes fun of those years. If you came to the Wizards, you got, I'll even say you just get to like the Eastern Conference Finals with the Washington Wizards. That is worth more than winning a championship or two. It's worth more than winning a bubble title in Los Angeles. I would put it almost on par with winning an NBA championship in Cleveland. Just getting to the Wizards, the Eastern Conference Finals, the first time since the invention of the three. There'd be no argument anymore. Like Messi, this World Cup, putting his hand on the fact that he's the GOAT, others clearly number 3 or 4. If that happened, there's no argument anymore. You are the one.
By the way, the hot seat I had for you that I forgot about, I don't remember, the Digger told me, which is hilarious, we drafted it, and we made it. When you drafted Vinny, you have to do a turn, right?
None of my
Something you better forget to go to performance. That's right. Have you said it at the time? I said that I'm about to do that right now. I was texting Vinny last night, and I was like, hey, good news. I see these, like, does he know about, like, Bird? That's why you got great competition on those companies. I was like, I don't think he knows that, but he can't. Jersey was out in the lag and he's the one, so I just, out of respect, you know? Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one. Like over there, you didn't have those people around them. Look out the guts, and people are still something. I'll let you know that the character testimony comes up to 5. Okay, he's just trying to make him out to be me. They said, set that first guy.
jump pack review.
I think it would have been a much more effective letter if he had started out by saying, I want to say that I'm anti-kidnapping, and however, and then the rest of the letter. He would get off to that next time, so people don't want people to get the wrong impression of the coach, but if you look at it, 99.99% Tyrion Arnold's life is spent not kidnapping. He just lost like a 0.01%. Also, like, with the overseas, does it fit like, even if he's on the ground, he'll put up something. Yeah, he was down. People around me, you know? Yeah, he gotta get rid of something. I think, he was kind of in charge, allegedly, and then he showed up. And he was definitely, they're alleging that he was a very, very, very big part of everything. But I don't know. Like crazy, this is the first time that I've heard Nick Saban like go out on a limb like this for one of his own
Where
players.
should I plant this flag?
Well, I don't know what that means, but depending on where they try the case and the judges, That might end up working.
Yeah, I think so. I remember the county. Got me really about going, but then he got saved the house through the land drop.
Obtaining armaments.
Be very, I mean,
The Imperial provides.
playing the game with the Predators.
That's the water with us. The four-wheel drive. They did ask for it.
Kind of love it. It would be awesome if you had a guy like, can you imagine? Like a big six. Obviously, sad story of the Christian. It was really, really sad. Everyone missed it. He did an interview with Michael Stringer on Good Morning America in TLS. I've talked about it before. I watched my family to TLS in different skis, and it's like there's no cure. So any funding helps, and there's a ton of places that you can donate. We obviously have a history with Freedies and the Ice Bucket Challenge. I think it's Shambi for Lou Gehrig Day a couple of weeks ago. So anything that can help. Like, we all loved watching him play football. It's a horrific disease. And it's not only just like the disease for the person who passes, but it just consumes your whole family and everyone around you because it's really fast and just awful to watch. So terrible news, but yeah, anyone, if you have extra money to throw around and give to a great cause, there's a ton of great causes that are doing ALS research. It'd be great if we could find a cure for it. Steve Gleason does a lot of stuff. Yeah, what's not crazy is that they shot down a teammate in Trump. Diagnosed with ALS.
This sanctum is protected by dark
Please it's really shitty thing.
Always in protocol.
It's terrific. Okay, let's get to our interview with John Schultz, and then we will be Dingers Only. And then on Friday, we will have Dungeons and Dragons back in studio on Sunday nights.
Praise be to the Omniscient.
Before we get
Interact with corresponding sigil to perform blends.
Mountain Dew. Summer's coming. I cannot wait. Also brought to you by our great friends over at Fruit of the Loom. They know that I got all Fruit of the Loom in my
successful.
They also spent some money to back. Better than that.
I will activate mankind's vitals
make us stand out.
after we have disabled the warp.
51, 175 years of delivering comfort. It delivers legendary comfort in the iconic sound and trust.
The Hell Train,
Nearly
Ice's
105
last
years of
stand
expertise. Craft
Use
this
every
like
tactic
designer
to
for
slay
that
the
fraction of
beast.
price. Design unbeatable value.
No womanized Jurassic steel and perfect flesh shall survive this day.
American century. In Tampa, wish in John
Imperium of mass demands we break the demon engine and the chaos operation to saintly relics dispel the taints of corruption.
Collection of
That ready to deploy.
different celebrities. All different ones.
Invade its desperate barrage.
Where do you kind of group and the ones that are like nice. Yeah, it's
What
competition.
situations?
Fan base is crazy. Listen, there is
Purification.
an unbelievable job. Not only behind the scenes, we've been on this event for 30 years.
Purification.
Everything that they do for that only cancer is like really
Seems like athletic weapon was effective. Filtering strike imminent.
Does it feel like the juice is flowing again? Like once a year you get to feel what you felt in the same as, pretty picture of close to the game, but a little bit of that because it's kind of special, especially for fire athletes. It's just
Fresh magazine. It seeks the cleavers!
Monsters fighting relics of St. Lanka!
Rearm! And this avoid Helldrake assault!
But that's
The Saints' symbols are
yeah, it's a very short-term. Yeah, it's a short-term launch. Can you get any protection from having to be
Purification!
no disrespect to the Charles Barkley's of the world?
Waste not this chance! Weapons hot!
Actually, what you guys there's some different. I think they really put the guys together, else together that have kind of but there's
Relic will not stay warm.
small people that I've been with a bunch of different people, and that's one part of yes. You're looking to the rewards this, so you have to think about the first post, see if anyone's having a tremendous start to this tournament. It's not that worth 3 points for one fall. Nice, it does.
The Helldrake's resilience is shattered!
Yeah, I know. Accumulated a lot of stuff. They got gains out. When you generations to get, you're never gonna.
Your mission is to use the stored Promethium in the refinery to destroy the enemy swarm. The Cadians were tasked with providing assistance, but we have since lost contact. First, proceed to the Cadian outpost and establish their fate. Must then infiltrate the refinery and complete demolitions to trigger detonation only when the main swarm has entered the plaza. Then can act around and coordinate our efforts in the box.
Deployed and ready.
But I think the teams that are ready not only have the prospects to play for, but the ability to sign up long term before this labor dispute settled for now the team actually could be playing for, and it's crazy to think that the Dodgers would be those teams, but they're those teams, whether they do it or not. All of the prospects, they have all of the money, and they have obviously spent a lot of money. This is what happens out of the other side. Now, I don't think that a small market team, even if they're in the position of making the playoffs and make that kind of move, that I heard from the beginning of the year, wouldn't it be unbelievable if the ship they have? What would be the prospects? Disappointing. These beats. And being relevant in the postseason, trying to get through those rosters in the postseason, all of a sudden you got a team that's marginal, all of a sudden they're very dangerous. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen, but if I was a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, I would be like, hey, let's put all our shit to do that and try to make something happen. But I think for the most part, it's going to be somebody who has the ability, I think, unless they're just willing to give up a bunch of prospects for a 2-month player, which is tough to do. I think the mid-market team is one of the best. All on how hard guys are right now. Like the Jacob Visrowski is, you know, look at his stats. 104 regular. Like that's it. Now you are throwing hard, and the guys not throw hard. It seems like if you on your stat over you're it's just like it's coming our way. Yes, but it's worked. Especially that is rewards instead of players.
Finished and ready.
It's not sustainable. Like this time, I have one by the generation I was just we have 25 long lines. That's the genetically toxic. That's manufactured. But again, just the others. Your body can. Yes, the radar knows how to. And I'm just getting the training. Training of baseball pitchers. This way ahead of the training. Going on and what they're trying to do and how they use 38 pitchers a year. That's insane. Yeah, because we have a lot of factory guys that know about it. So they build the gap with the rules that exist. Things have to change. But they gotta get this flavor thing behind it. I'm just looking at the pitch block and the end of the ship and all the things that are now made all relevant again. We're gonna have to do that on the pitch. Because right now, we're not. You just care about that moment and time for you. And we're having discussions that we should never be having on the narrative. Public. It's not going to precursor. So, how that you're going to see He's the one who's getting it out right now. No time to take 10 years ago, what was and it's here. Nobody cares. It's the guys that are running the game that are playing. They really care about the bottom dollar and the opportunity to maximize untremendous. On their side, if I had to jump on their side, here's what I would say. One is if you got to identify the next guy, and until that one's out, Commissioner, so slight that's so wild. Guys' careers are cut in thirds, 8, 10 seconds.
That big bastard
But until that time, I would absolutely use guys and abuse sides, which is what they're doing, and get them to buy in, to the narrative that this is how you get drafted, this is how you get paid. You're not going to have it. That's the byproduct. Off that, so I think you were the first pitcher to do the Hall of Fame at Tommy John. Right now, it's just place and state things. So like you're saying, like, oh, you're going to pitch for good years, then you're going to get Tommy John, you're going to get back. What is the rehab like of Tommy John getting? You need that Tommy John getting. Like, all right, check that out.
Dude, that's fucking horseshit.
I feel like drops from it. Magazine out! Magazine in! One down. Trillions to go.
Likelihood of going back. Tommy John at 12, and he's going to be fine. Just look at this guy, look at that guy. The earlier they have it, the more susceptible they are to a second.
What needs grappling?
Not normal. Deformance.
Champ gate ahead. Looks deserted.
When I see it at 14 throwing 90 miles an hour, I cringe. But parents, what's going to do with my, I'm in the outfield. He's coming in.
Now
what are we doing? Why are you dominating at 12 and 13?
To require the Astropolitan demolition codes required warriors arm their ordnance. Source one to any soldier you say, alive or otherwise.
And I think that's the reality of why we fight towards fishing. Awesome. We're asking guys, if we don't get it, we have a
out there as a scout speaking.
And get 5-10 guys. Then I would buy a ticket to San to go. They have to go see it. The enemy that was that got you the postseason that was he basically got a man and used for that one. And now it's taking 12 pitchers and 10 pitchers basically through a game. So if you're slowly
We are ready to get the demolition started.
Proceed to the Promethean refinery and complete the demolition preparations.
Roll on the side pitcher. Analytics.
So, I think you make a whole lot of sense. I wish people would start paying attention. What rule change could you possibly put in, though, to discourage the way that clubs are just keeping guys up and spending them out?
Right, and there's a couple ways you can do it. And when you would have thought about the rule changes that we have today, when those came up, everyone said you're crazy.
Together we
Not
go.
really, because now we realize the game's too long. Left-handed ground balls, right-handed ground balls, is no longer. When you have a society of the game that is trying to lift the ball out of the ballpark because it's counter-acting high velocity, you're finding ways to incentivize clubs to pitchers ways, that help this not players go towards the guns, right? It's like well, they're going to give you a competitive advantage. Your pitcher goes 7 or 8 innings. That's something else today. This idea is as an opener, you want to start a guy in 1 inning, and you've got 5 or 4 pitch hit coming down the pipe. So that's one way to think. It starts, all right, I'm the club.
The scene of infestation.
Don't let me just see. I got these guys really want the best players. That's one of them for 3. Let's just let it I don't understand why that's such a better thing. Do it as limited roster manipulation. Marches and on the turn. Rosters actually have 11 pitchers. They have 11 pitchers. And you cultivate guys. Trying to get 4 or 5 innings of your starters every single time you have. All that with you. You got guys up and down.
It's interesting that you mentioned the fast you back, later in your career, you had switched to the bullpen. You were a fantastic opener. Do you think the opener role would have been one that suited you?
Quit. And I know that, well, here's this. Again, it's automatic baseball. Which is this. You're basically telling whatever that starting pitcher is that's coming in behind that. Just line up 3 times, that's somebody order. You're saying to him, you're not that good. And so you've already impacted that next guy. In the second
Canadians are running out of time.
Judge the
How close are you to the Promethean
base?
Pushing the facility down.
Times. So
You are making good time.
again, on paper,
As needed.
and but it's I guess that's the rub, right? But the end, start thinking on paper is that's great. It just doesn't work. And it works.
Subterranean detonation is a crude Promethean. And that movement.
Use the course to break the wall and finishes the building up to the Promethean well. Cautious
Only decisions you
may
make
know what is good for you.
I think you right? Take notes. Because you don't understand the game and how it's played over one system. You gotta use your eyes. You gotta be able to blend. The things I've been saying for years.
Ready and payload delivery.
It's definitely shot every year. The World Series used to teams that
Generations
how
of
deviation
could say.
they go about the game. Now, those this
Sequencing
the dome,
delivering payload.
universal kind of statistical categories that are neutral. And you got talent elevation, you got all these elements that we want to quantify by a stat. We want to come up with an algorithm or a stat that quantifies the there's no such
Let's just
thing.
keep that
But if you
from
ever let you generate analytics as manager, I will not deal you. That's it. And you gotta play the way so that you can understand the flows and the nature of the elements and then there's this then you can have who's your favorite one right now? I just think I'm a generation guy, like a guy who can I love watching schemes, I love watching people, I love watching Cole, I love just expressions with sound. My favorite for the longest time is just because I call him intense. 92, 99, throw it 100 in a first inning, still 100 in the game. Any generation.
Begin the course of the motion.
The enemy has eyes on generator
Don't
3.
know how to pitch with less velocity because they didn't talk.
Generator 3 is discharging the regular current. Eliminates these unwanted fluctuations.
Tommy John's surgeries. I look at this roster and I go, boy, this guy will be up and make more. I hope he's right. And he does have 103. Talking about one of the stronger weeks on his stats. Every time, I got strong when I see his stats. All they spell out is somebody pitches through over 102 miles an hour. He could have no hitter. Yeah, I've got to get pitching and holding these guys. There's so many dynamic arms. There's so many guys that you one thing is to join it down once you pitch.
And the question about your career is you are the best ever. I would say that it started in Cole. When you went into about your mentality, and some of the guys don't like that, I would assume. Like they're either starters or, it's almost like the old saying, like, oh, that guy just a failed starter. Like, I start high level. What was it like for you mentally and just playing watch the game?
And I know we would have been like, what? He's on baseball, but the structure, personality, I started doing longevity, my recording. Never tried to train for 8, 9 innings. I never met someone at the pitch. I could throw 94 to 97, but I never really seen my carry by 8. All the things I said, it's a straight approach. The things that hitters had were simply different than they are today. There was no badge of honor that was for no reason. I did all the like Lucas. Over a day, I could actually live. All you just would say 98, 99, but I still wasn't that severing. It was
an observation platform for looking at medium fields. It will make a good vantage for your ambush.
I've thrown 256 innings in the regular season, and I threw 81 innings. It was my first time as a closer. I was the guy. All the warm-ups, all the times you get ready, all the times you didn't get in. People treat the time of the 6 by 8. Those dynamics change dramatically. Guys, don't
Sending frag grenade! Out! Magazine in!
housings facility. Run distraction efforts as long as you can.
We will wreak such havoc upon the enemy, the Emperor will see it from Terra.
I will hold you to that.
Are we sure this place will hold together once that bomb goes?
There will be more burn than bomb on this one.
Getting broiled is not an improvement. Deep scan ready. Finished and ready. Show them
No hope and no brains.
Magazine out! Magazine in! Those things cannot even compute their numbers.
All space ready to scan.
We stand ready to deliver the Emperor's vengeance. Dig in. We need that bomb triggered for optimal yield. Orbital scan estimates the bulk of the swarm will not be in position for a while yet. Keep your heads and get it done. The enemy seeks to consume this place and us with it.
Go there, dig in.
You are clear to ignite when ready.
Let the foul creatures burn! The bulk of the swarm is continuing along the protected path. Continue holding. Into the morgue! Steal your mind! That hovering fire! Keep them lost! Torch our backs!
Rebel Roger sent.
Stoke the fires and roast these tyrannids on a spit! Into the grave! Honor signals for guide the way, Lee. Check that spot. Disappointing! They're halfway there, Colonels. Keep it up. ready for my mark.
Swapping out Legacy. Rapid launch.
You are clear to detonate. Cook those rotten bastards.
I am going to enjoy watching these tyrannies ride in the flames.
Valiant to Titus. Greetings from the climb.
Tyranid biosigns down 90% and falling. Swarm annihilation confirmed. Excellent work. Move to extract. Extraction complete. Returning to orbit. Commendable work, brothers. You honored your chapter. Be ready for rearm, refit, and redeployment immediately.